Hi, everybody. Welcome to Chiro Secure's show, Empowering Women in Chiropractic. I am your host today, Dr. Nicole Lindsay, founder of Dominate Chiro Marketing, where I teach chiropractors how to build relationships with medical doctors, bridging gaps to build authority and credibility, bridging gaps to build our practices. Before we jump in, I want to give Chiro Secure a shout out, some love, and I want you all to do that as well. I want to thank them for always being there for us, giving us our malpractice needs, being a resource for us, and providing this education, bringing us together to remind us why we do what we do. So thank you, Chiro Secure. Let's jump right into our topic, and we're going to go to our slideshow. This is a three-part series. We're going to talk about connecting with OBGYNs to build your practice. We had part one last time, which we have a link for you. If you missed that, you can go back and watch that and get the ebook as well. Today, we're going to talk about the blueprint, part two. I just want to say how grateful I am for the relationships that I've built with medical doctors over the past 20 years in practice, especially over the past year, how these relationships have really helped my practice not just survive during this time, but thrive. And I know that everybody's all over the place. I've talked to colleagues all over the country, and some are barely hanging on, some are doing really well and thriving. And what I hope that this show does for you is teaches you how to do it, how you can build these relationships and make this one of your streams of marketing to help you thrive as well. So let's just do a brief review. Our last show was why OBGYNs make a great referral source. And we talked about why connecting with OBGYNs is a must for any chiropractor, like the fact that women are the chief medical officers of their families, and that 94% of the time women make the healthcare decisions. And we talked about how to gain both non pregnant and pregnancy related cases from OBGYNs by educating the OBGYNs on things like SI joints and facet joints and the biomechanical and chemical stresses that women are under, that their bodies are under, whether they're pregnant or not. And we talked about the one thing that OBGYNs want to know before that referral is made. So make sure you go back and check that out or get the ebook if you did not, so you can catch up. Now, once we do this, the next step is to take action. And this is what I'm going to show you now. This is what we're going to talk about over the next 15 to 18 minutes or so. And this is how I have been able to average 100 plus new patient MD referrals annually. So step one in doing this is to position yourself as an authority. So let's talk about this a little bit. Marketing of the past, what we did to put our profession on the globe, right, on the map, and what we did to build our practices we're, is not so much what we're doing now. It may not work as well as it did, right? Things like spinal screenings in grocery stores, in the deli section, showing people their subluxations. I did it and it worked for me, right? Not so sure it's working now. Yellow page ads. I mean, who even has a yellow page book, right? But we did, and it helped build our practices. Inserts in newspaper ads. I'm not sure how many people are doing that. Some are successful with it, but I'm not sure if it's all that we're doing. I've even had colleagues that had a second job delivering pizzas and sticking business cards in the boxes, in the pizza boxes, right? We had to do what we did to survive. We don't have the backing from the pharmaceutical industry to make these big glamorous commercials, right? So we did what we did, and it helped us get where we are. But we did create some damage in the interim. And I want you to think about, what did this type of marketing do for your credibility? What did it do for your authority? I think most of you would agree with me that it didn't, in the eyes of the medical doctors, in the eyes of a lot of people in our communities, it didn't give us a great look. So we have to change that, right? We have to make a shift in our perception, and we have to make a shift in our marketing. And this is exactly what I did. And that shift is, I really want you to think about this, the fact that you are a specialty consultant to the MD. And what I mean by that is you perform, you perform and you offer a service that the MD does not. Therefore, you are a specialty consultant. So embrace that. Embrace that. This is how we really need to work together. And when we think about marketing of the past, we think about what we did, even internal promos. I mean, my personal story, I gained a lot of internal referrals from my patient base. I still do. But I spent a lot of time doing what I call beating my practice members over the head all the time. uh, asking them questions. Who do you know that hasn't been to a chiropractor yet? Who do you know that needs chiropractic? Right? I did this constantly. And I made it a point to train my staff on how to do that. And I felt like we were badgering our patients all the time. And again, it worked, but I didn't want that to be the only way that I got patients. I wanted to gain internal referrals because the patients truly liked my work. They liked their results and they loved chiropractic and they wanted to bring their families, and not because I beat them over the head. That was exhausting. It was an exhausting way to build a practice. So instead, position yourself as an authority in what you do. And here's some things that you can do. First of all, own your stuff, whatever your flavor is. Own it. And what I mean by flavor, modalities, correction. Do you do corrective care, correcting curves in the cervical spine, lumbar spine, and do pre and post X-rays? Are you into functional medicine? Is that your flavor? Whatever it is, however you get results with chiropractic in your patients, own that. That is you, right? Find your niche, what you're good at, and that is what's going to make you stand out to the medical doctor. So own your stuff. The second thing you can do to position yourself as an authority is to bone up. Bone up, get a new certification if you feel that that's what you need, if you feel that you're lacking that, and that would really help give you that confidence. There's so many great courses out there. We have another host on ChiroSecure's shows, Dr. Monica Berger. She has an excellent program called Developing Minds. Highly suggest you check into that. Krista Burns, I've interviewed her as well. Dr. Krista Burns, she has the posture certification program. There's so many great things that you can do to bone up on your skills and study your craft a bit so that you feel that you have the confidence to be the authority in what you do. I love this quote by Charles Glassman. Before I can become an expert on anything, I must first become a master of me. So, whatever you need to do to become that authority, I need you to do that. I need you to own your stuff and bone up. I want you also to understand this is that we, as chiropractors, just with what we do with our chiropractic degree alone, you have the power, the ability to remove nerve interference. You can do that through correcting posture, through your adjustments, releasing tension in the body. But you enhance brain and body communication. You, as a chiropractor, are changing the brain for the better. Only you can do this. So know that this alone, the fact that you are a chiropractor, makes you an authority in what you do. And so I'm here to remind you today that you are enough. Your education is enough. And many chiropractors, many healthcare providers, they just don't know that. They come out of school with a degree, with this amazing degree, and they feel like it still is not enough. And I'm telling you, after being with MDs and building relationships with them year after year after year, that alone, that degree alone is enough. However, if you feel like you need to bone up and you want that to build that credibility, give you more confidence, the resources are there. Do it, do it. But your education is enough. I've coached chiropractors for several years now, teaching them how to build relationships through my online course. And I'll never forget this one chiropractor who never felt like he was enough. He felt like he didn't have the skills. He questioned whether he wanted to be a chiropractor anymore. And he kept thinking, maybe I need to get another degree. Maybe I need to do something else. And I had to remind him day in and day out that you are enough. Your chiropractic degree is enough. You don't need anything more to do this. And fortunately, he then went and started building relationships and discovered that his degree is enough and that the medical doctors truly want to know what we do as a chiropractor. They don't even care about all the fancy stuff. They want to know how chiropractic works. So you are enough. Once you gain that confidence, now it's time to share your knowledge. And this is step number 2 in the process of implementing these connections with OBGYNs and medical doctors. Step 2, teach to tell. This is the best way to build relationships with medical doctors is you give them the knowledge that you have. This will build trust, which is the foundation for any relationship. So, what we want to keep in mind in doing this is that we have to change the way that we teach in a presentation. So, we want to change our mindset regarding the process of sharing the knowledge. Most presentations that we've done in the past in promoting chiropractic to businesses and clubs and different things has been all about getting new patients. That was it. We went in to get new patients. When you go in this way, you want to go in and approach this presentation differently. It's not what's in it for me, but what can I do for you? What can I do for you, doctor, medical doctor? So the opportunity to teach the MD, it's not about wowing them on our philosophy. It's not about tugging their heartstrings, something that we may have done at a business lunch and learn because we really wanted to walk out of there with 20 new appointments, right? This is about educating the medical doctors, sharing your knowledge. So again, changing the perception, changing the way we approach the presentation, teach to tell. In addition to that, we want to keep in mind that physicians love evidence. This is their language. So we're going to introduce studies from peer-reviewed journals regarding your topic to back up your talking points, because this really cements what we're telling the medical doctor. This really helps build more trust, confidence in credibility and in what we do. And it further will make that medical doctor trust you and make the medical doctor comfortable in referring the patients to you. So you want to make sure that when you finally get in front of this medical doctor to teach them, that you have literature to back up your points because this is their language. Part 2 also involves choosing your niche. So again, your subject, you want to approach the medical doctor with a symptom. We want to keep it symptom specific and choose something that you're good at. Is it headaches? That's something that I particularly love to work on. I get really good results with headaches in my practice. So that is always my go-to when I'm setting up a talk with a medical doctor, contacting them about coming in and teaching them how chiropractic can really help with headaches, with cervicogenic headaches, with tension headaches, and migraine headaches. So we want to keep our talking points very symptom specific and having literature to back that up and only choosing one symptom at a time. Eventually, as you build this relationship with the medical doctor and you can go back again and maybe you can meet them again and have several conversations, you can bring up more symptoms and different talking points, but go in with one initially. and especially in reference to OBGYNs, talking about lower back pain for women, lower back pain during pregnancy, and just lower back pain for women in general. That is a very, very popular subject among them, and one that I've used and build relationships with OBGYNs. So, step 3 is reaching out and setting up a meeting. And these meetings, they can be face to face, they can be on the telephone, and they can be virtual now via Zoom. All of the medical doctors are moving towards that. Pharmaceutical companies, their reps are moving, have moved towards that. And so we need to be doing that as well. So these meetings, this is the best way to build the relationship, is to have that time with the medical doctor. And this is usually the part that most chiropractors leave out, because they just don't feel like they have that confidence to open that door to build that relationship. So this is the most important step. First thing you want to do is make the phone call to the medical doctors, because here's the thing. This quote here by Devin Fry: never regret taking a chance, even if you fall on your face. It's better to know you tried and failed than to wonder the great what if. So I know you've come to this point where, okay, I know what I want to talk to the MD about. I have the literature, I have the research, I have a list of MDs that I co-manage patients with, but I don't know, the call scares me. I want you to think about, what if you make that call to the medical doctor's office? What if you establish a relationship, an amazing relationship with an OBGYN in your community who has been looking for a chiropractor to send the patients to? What if all it takes is a phone call to do that? And most of the time, that is all it takes. So here's how you do it. Here's the call. You don't have to ask yourself that anymore. You just have to do it. So in my MD Connection course, I teach this in detail. We review all the objections and the strategies that you can use to get past the gatekeeper, because there's many things that can come up. It's not black or white. But the key is to get the right person on the phone that can set up these meetings, these face-to-face, these phone call meetings, or these virtual meetings with the medical doctor. So that's the first thing, is ask for the person that sets up the meetings with the medical doctor. There will actually be somebody on staff that handles these marketing calls or these in services with the medical doctor. So get that person on the phone. Once you get that person on the phone, now it's time to make your pitch, to tell that person, I am a chiropractor down the road. I share several patients with Dr. Jones. We co-manage those patients. And I would love to talk to the doctor about the effectiveness of chiropractic care in treating headaches. When would be a good time for me to do that? Either a 10-minute meeting, I can stop by the office, or if a virtual meeting is better because of the times right now, what would be best and when would be a good time to do that? And it's that simple. You lock it in, and if it is virtual, you can still offer to send lunch to the staff. Find out how many staff members are there, find out what they like and dislike, and send them lunch. And you show up at their desired time, either virtually, or if they want to do a face-to-face or phone call, um, whatever works for them. Right now is the time to be adaptable. Do what works for them at the time that works for them, and offer lunch. And there you have it. You attend the meeting and build the relationship. And that is how simple it is to make this meeting happen. Set up the meeting and show up. Now, next, part 3 is all about the presentation, whether it's a 10-minute talk on the phone or a 10-minute Zoom, or you get a full 30 to 45-minute presentation time with the doctor. What do you say in that presentation? Part 3 of this series is going to be breaking that down for you, helping you to create and craft the presentation so that you can meet with these medical doctors, have the authority and the confidence to build these relationships and gain those referrals. So they not only like you as a person, but they start sending those referrals into your practice, and you can co-manage those patients, help the patients, and build your practice. So there you have it, part 2 in the series of building relationships with medical doctors. Stay tuned for part 3. If you want the ebook, there's a link in this series as well, where you can obtain the ebook for part 1 and part 2 and follow along and learn these strategies. Stay tuned for next week's show, Empowering Women in Chiropractic, where we will continue to bring you great information that you can share with your staff and grow your practices. Thank you for joining us today.
Join us each week as we bring you the best in business growth, practice management, social media marketing, networking, leadership, and lots more. If it's about women in practice and business, you'll hear it here. We hope you enjoyed this week's Facebook Live event. Please like us on Facebook, comment, and share. We look forward to seeing all of you next week for another episode of Empowering Women in Chiropractic. Now, go ahead and hit the share button and tell your friends and colleagues about the show. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. This has been a Chiro Secure production.